Welcome, option one. So, will you and your love interest end up together? Think about your love interest, the person you came to this video for. Angels, spirits, and guides, please give us guidance with regards option one and their love interest. Will they end up together? Will option one and their love interest end up together, please? Okay. Looks like there's been some deception for which you are owed an apology or you are needing to apologize. With the Seven of Wands here coming out representing you. So, with it being in reverse, it says that, maybe you behaved impetuously, like you took some action without really thinking about it or thinking through it first. Could be some of you cut this person out of your life. Maybe things weren't going the way that you wanted to when you embodied that Queen of Swords energy. But with that seven, I'm getting, that it can show that either you or your person needs to come clean about a mistake or some error here and try to make it up to you, or vice versa. Take what resonates. So you're probably experimenting, at least in your mind, with different plans. Some of you are experimenting in the physical, but most of you are experimenting in your mind with different plans and getting various points of view about the connection and what to do about it. And it could mean an apology for a mistake or an injury, and facing and dealing with some betrayal, hurt, or manipulation. And this is representing you for some of you that could, you're the one that betrayed or manipulated. But again, take what resonates. You could have, a couple of you could have assisted someone through a hard time where they were taken advantage of or were involved in some sort of risky course of action. And maybe you don't feel that you were given enough credit for helping them out, but I do see, you being crossed by this queen. So this person could be the Queen of Swords, particularly if they embody air sign energy. This queen in the upright is somebody who's really got your back, especially, if they're benefiting from the connection in some way. Like if you're on their team, they'll give you 1,000%, but if you're against them, then they make a very formidable energy. So I feel like this is someone who's, probably on your team, or you're on the other person's team, and you've got their back, or that you did, with regard to some sneaky mess that happened here. Okay. And if you feel that this person crossed you, if you're the one that was crossed by this person, then you want an apology and you probably cut them out because you're not putting up with any BS, as this queen doesn't put up with any BS. She wants to cut through the BS, she wants to get to the heart of the matter, and she wants honesty. Okay. She's been hurt a lot in the past, so she's grown up quite a bit regardless of her age, and she's somebody that does well by herself. She really likes independence and equality in relationships. She doesn't want to be taken advantage of, if that's the case. So you could have chosen to remain single instead of being potentially taken advantage of, or this other person did. But you're really interested in someone who sort of shares your ideas or ideals about a partnership. That's very important to you. And if they betrayed you somehow, even just through mind games, then that would be cause for you to think, less of them, to either walk away or to expect an apology from them, or all of the above. Because subconscious influences, sort of the foundation of this reading about whether or not you and your person will end up together, is the fact that there is some healing that is needed here. Some rest, some recuperation with this Four of Swords. So one or both of you might have manifested some sort of conflict or rift in the connection in order to create the distance necessary for one or both of you to get the rest and separation that you needed, to retreat, to go into solitude, to be introspective. As we see this queen, whether she's representing you or your person, as somebody that likes to be independent, which is, comfortable in their solitude, subconsciously really seek that. So just beware that perhaps, this happened for a reason. Maybe you manifested this separation for those of you who are resonating with this reading, and if you're not, choose another option. But there is some healing that's needed to take place here. And this is about carving out time for yourself and feeling drained and discouraged by a relationship in the past. So looking within to discover your true needs and how you can restore balance here. In the recent past, we have the Empress card. So this speaks to me about a connection that was very passionate, very sensual, very loving. Okay? Some of you might be a parent to the child of the person in question, but it doesn't have to be the case. This person might feel very nurturing towards you, as the Empress is a motherly energy or a parental energy, regardless of gender, a very nurturing energy. Can be Libra Taurus energy as well. So I feel like you experienced a lot of pleasure with this person. That you or this person, whoever this is representing, is someone who embodies feminine authority at home, at work, like in all areas of their life, and has a real capacity, like I said, for being supportive of themselves and others. It could be referring to a mother playing a role in the connection. Take it if it resonates, don't if it doesn't. But I feel like if it is referring to a mother and you're here about a masculine, that this Empress may signify that your person recognized a feminine part of themselves through you and was able to sort of come into balance and heal through some sort of nurturing or care that they received in this connection with you. And I feel like there's a lot of potential here, if it didn't manifest, for a mature and loving relationship based on mutual respect, trust, and affection here, and a powerful sexual connection, like I said. Potentially a pregnancy or children as well. Your goals and ideals in the connection here, and in this reading, and it is the Four of Cups in reverse. So you're wanting to stop stagnating here. If this person is stagnating, this connection is stagnating because you've gone within, both of you. You've needed this time to recuperate and withdraw, but now your goal is to stop recuperating and withdrawing and to have some action instead of just being, withdrawn, so withdrawn. You want to see some action here. Okay, because you needed that time and space for yourself, but you're wrapping that up. You needed that whether you consciously realized it or not. And part of that could have been that this was a very overwhelming connection. Even good connections can be very overwhelming and can cause us to need to go within. So perhaps there was a lot of activity that you were involved in, a lot of activity, sexual activity perhaps, or just activity in general, socializing, that sort of thing, and you need to take a breather from that. So that could resonate for some and be part of the issues here in the connection or what you're facing here. But I feel like it's intense regardless, an intense emotional situation. It could have left you, needing that you needed to regroup, and is the reason why your person either withdrew or you did or both of you did. So, but because of this, needing to withdraw now, it's lost its luster to some extent, and you're like reassessing the situation, trying to figure out, what you want to do about that. So, you are advised with this card not to rush into a reconnection with this person. Take it slow is what this card is saying. Use your head, okay? And that, again, that you did the right thing according to Spirit for taking time alone before getting romantically involved again, if you are technically separated or did officially end a connection. Taking the time that you need to be with yourself. So that's good. The near future is that this connection is not ended, with the cycle being incomplete with the World card in reverse. So, I feel like you're going to continue to reassess. Your person is going to continue to reassess the connection, and there might not be a whole lot of action in the near future, but you're not letting go of each other either. This is a spiritual connection with the World card. Usually, talks about a higher level soulmate type situation. I do feel like, you do and will have many choices presented to you, and that, you are going to continue to not know which way to go here. I'm feeling like there's power in your hands here, option one, as you reassess this situation. There is some sort of obstacle here to be overcome that stands in the way of, full success with this person. We'll look more into that. And, the sense of feeling stuck, regardless of your hard work, you feel like you just have to wait until matters right themselves, right? Go with the flow until then. And, maybe the end result of this connection won't be exactly what you want, but for some of you, it could still be pretty good. And, with the World card here, it's saying whatever progress you do make, there's going to still need to be more work, because the cycle, like I said, isn't finished. So needs to be more work here in the connection. You'll be doing that in the future. And or the rewards that you receive, like in terms of whatever pleasures that you may seek or experience with this person in the future, you guys just might keep that to yourselves. Keep it private, keep it personal, instead of announcing it to the world, is also what that could be saying. So while things aren't going according to plan in the future, despite your best efforts here and all the work you've done on healing, withdrawing, taking time for yourself, reassessing, you're asked not to let frustration, or stagnation cause you to give up, because happier times await you and they're just around the corner, okay? So your approach to this connection is very positive, with the Three of Pentacles saying that you are wanting to approach this with a constructive attitude. You want to use your skills to gain rewards in this connection. In other words, put the work in on it. You also want to express yourself creatively with regards to this connection, but in a practical way. So you are taking a creative approach here, and some of you might work with this person, go to school with this person, or you may be focusing more on work or school at present, and that's going to be the approach that you're taking in part for whatever reason, feeling it will help this connection. Developing your skills here, and wanting to get, a payoff for your efforts that you've put in from this connection. You're really looking for some recognition here on the work that you've done on this. And I feel like you will have it, and that, other people around you will benefit from your happiness as well. Okay. But in the meantime, some of you really will be working on your skills and on your talents or some creative project or your work to bide your time here. And that's very positive. But again, I feel like you're going to be working through the challenges with regard to the connection specifically, and investing a lot of effort in the relationship, so that, again, now things are going to be on an upswing, okay? Two cards talking about an upswing for this connection, and the ability to enjoy this relationship. Yeah. You want to, I feel like you're going to be content and you're going to be secure in yourself, regardless of how things are going in the connection. But that some of you will have contentment and security with this person sooner than later. Others, it might take a bit longer. Yep, with the environment card, in your environment, you're going to see a resurrection or a renewal with the Judgment card. You might be dealing with people around you who are judgmental of this connection. Maybe they just want to see you making the right choices for yourself. And so it's not like a malicious type of judgment. It's just, caring about you and wanting to see you make the right choices about your future. But also, the Judgment card can talk about you or your person facing some legalities, or there being some sort of a judgment, like a formal judgment of some kind. But with it being upright, I feel like that's going to be okay. But more specifically to this connection, it does talk about, dealing with your choices that we already saw that you have, many choices, and having rebirth in yourself about this connection. So indicates facing a choice that you're going to make, a decision that you're going to make about this relationship. You or your person or both of you will do this, and that you're going to become a lot less intolerant and less judgmental towards yourself and other people, or the people around you, including your person, are going to become less intolerant or judgmental or critical towards you. Okay, so that's due to this awakening that I see here occurring, and some sort of a wake-up call occurring in your environment with regards to this connection that helps it along and helps you have some sort of self-realization that leads to a rebirth or perhaps a second chance in this connection. So it's talking about a period of wholeness after confusion, and determining what it is you want to keep in your life and what it is you want to get rid of. So you're going to be really honest with yourself, and you're going to make a mature and clear choice here. Since some of you will choose to go forward with this person, and some of you won't. I feel most of you will. But whatever choice you make, it will be one that's grounded, based in really assessing, your options very clear and level-headedly. Is that a word? You know what I mean. So, what do you need to know right now? We've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So what you need to know right now is a love offer or communication. It's still going to take a long time. So let's see. And I feel like this is going to put some of you in a negative headspace about the connection. So while I do see for many of you, you will have a chance to be with this person, since you're both still holding on to it, and we see, a sense of goodwill towards the connection and the desire and the ability and willingness to put in the work on the connection, there's still going to be some waiting because of the stubbornness or stagnation of this Knight of Pentacles. So if it's representing like your person, it could be an earth sign energy, but doesn't have to be. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, take what resonates, or it just could even represent you. Take it how it resonates. But this is somebody that sort of, for whatever reason, is stick in the mud, like not making any moves, kind of stuck. This could be due to like lack of imagination. So someone is having an awakening to certain aspects of this connection that's going to allow them to assess it and see it more clearly, and someone else isn't, or they're going to have the awakening and then still choose to remain stuck. Okay, because of lack of spiritual insight or lack of imagination, or perhaps they're too distracted with concerns about money and possessions here and just focusing too much on the wrong things. Because sometimes this Knight in reverse can talk about somebody who just wants to have a good time, who doesn't want to take life too seriously, and who focuses on getting wealth and status even if they have to take the low road to get it. Now that will probably only apply to one or two of you, so don't force it to apply if it doesn't. That's just one way that this person could be showing up. As a general rule, for most of you, this is talking about you needing to know that this is going to continue to feel stagnant for a while going forward due to some stubbornness or an inability for someone to step outside of the box. And this could cause you to become bored, because we already see that you're kind of tired of things being withdrawn, but with this connection, you being withdrawn, them being withdrawn, stagnation here, kind of sick of that already. And then we see that going forward, that it's going to continue going forward even after some awakening and putting the work in. So somebody needs to stop being afraid of change and really just go for it. Go for it, whatever it is that they want. Because in the outcome, the likely outcome, if energies remain the same, because remember, readings are, well, for entertainment purposes, number one, number two, a snapshot of present energies. The likely outcome is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is, feeling trapped in your head and feeling, somewhat defeated because you're not seeing, how you can progress, letting yourself be in fear, feeling helpless. Perhaps some of you will be in denial here with regards to this connection. So it's you're guided to not be your own worst enemy here, not let fear and denial bother you or like hold you back from doing what you want to do. Don't wait on this person. It's not that you won't be together, it's just that you have had a lot of really positive cards here showing your evolution and showing your choices and your willingness to work and like some spiritual help that you're getting from your guides. So, have trust and faith and don't be held back by whatever fears that you have regarding this person. Live your life. Don't be stuck in a painful state. Let yourself out of this self-imposed prison is what this card can be saying. For others of you, this could be talking about, some deception that occurs, in the distant future, or that you discover in the distant future. But don't be in fear about that. You can create what you fear. So I just feel like that for most of you, this is unfulfillment in this connection, but you can contribute to the problem and make it worse if you like dwell on the negatives too much, or you have unrealistic expectations about who this person is and what they have to offer you. So a change of attitude could go a long way with regards to this connection. Let's get an overall card for clarity and guidance, please. Yeah, we've got potential money problems with this King of Coins in reverse. And so just beware that, I feel like this is talking about your person or whoever that Knight of Coins is, because this is the King of Coins, so same suit, and he's showing up in reverse. So I feel like there's very little that this person can offer you in terms of finances or even just stability or excitement or romance because of some sort of routine or responsibilities that are draining their vitality. They could be stuck in a situation or another relationship. For some of you that know that that's the case, they could be stuck in something where they're there for the money or the security, and that could be the main thing holding some of them back. So are you two going to be together? I'm feeling like some of you will be together sooner than others, but it won't be, to its full potential. And it might be something that's kept behind closed doors or kept private. So the Sun card's very positive, but it is in reverse. So it does denote that there's still going to be some unhappiness in the connection going forward. So I feel like those of you who do end up going forward with this person, the relationship will remain sort of stagnant in the sense of it's not being fulfilling to its maximum capacity. Like, it's not going to be everything that you would have it or want it or wish it to be. But you can have this person in your life to a lesser degree if that's what you really want. Okay? However that resonates or makes sense in your situation. You get to experience a lot of pleasure together, perhaps, some fun times, but just know that it will be largely superficial for the time being. Okay? Until this person gets out of this reverse Pentacles energy. Alright, thank you so much for watching option 1. I hope that was helpful, and if you liked the reading, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks again. Welcome option 2. So this reading is going to be, are you going to end up with this person, your love interest, whoever you're thinking about, whoever you came to this reading about? Angels, spirits, and guides, please give us honest clarity and guidance with regards to option 2's love interest. Will they end up with this person? I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread and see what the cards have to say. Will option 2 end up with their person of interest, please? Give it a little shuffle here. Will option 2 end up with their love interest? Person they came to the reading about. Like that. So there seems to be some sort of disunion for many of you. You are in separation from this person. You're showing up as the Knight of Cups in reverse, so you could be water sign or have it in your chart, but don't have to be. Certainly you'd have some of those traits, but you are in reverse. This card represents you, could represent who your love interest is very heavily on your mind. and that you're feeling indecision. There's a lack of commitment with regards to this connection. The person you're dealing with may be very immature, and you're feeling indecisive about this. Perhaps, there have been some broken promises and some deception here, or promises that were not based in reality. So I feel like you're not really in the mood to deal with this person. You are, but you're not. And that you don't think that this person is what they seem to be, and that they may not even know themselves who they are. And so perhaps it's just that you think that even if they have good intentions, they can't really fulfill them. So it's like, why bother dealing with them, is what I'm getting there. Many of you have been lied to or have found out secrets from this person. And others of you, this person just has kind of left you not knowing how they feel about you. They're just not as open, or they've been conflicted about their feelings, and so you haven't gotten the commitment here. And I don't feel like you want the commitment with this person as much, because they've done something that has shook your desire for commitment. Even if you had wanted commitment with them in the past, at present you're like in denial or indecisive. Some of you are indecisive about this person. Others of you might be really over fantasizing this connection, and this card is saying that maybe you need to stop doing that so much, because you are in separation for a lot of you, with you're being crossed by the fact that you're in separation with this Lover's card in reverse. So it could be that there are obstacles standing in your way of this connection, other people, geographical location, what else? Anything that could stand in the way. A third party for some of you. Something is standing in the way of this connection. So you feel like you're unable to connect with the object of your desire here. And whether that's like in a flesh and blood sense, like physically, or whether it's just with regards to intimacy, there's some discontentment that's crossing you here. And you feel unable to express your feelings or your love, or believe that if you do, you'll be rejected. Or this person is, because we saw that you're feeling like they're not expressing themselves. So that's crossing you. That's hindering the connection. So that leaves you uncertain about what decision to make, and feeling unhappy about the outcome of any decisions that you have made up till now that's left you in separation, either physically or emotionally here. And like I was saying again, some of you it's separation by circumstances, like responsibilities or location, but mostly I feel there's a blockage to, expression of love due to someone not being ready, someone not being mature enough, and as a result, they can be manipulative and make you feel like, unloved, and that you're incompatible, or that you're always fighting, and or that you would be if you were together or in communication. And so there's definitely some healing that needs to take place that is blocking the connection. So now, what is beneath the situation here? So subconscious influences the foundation of this connection, and in this reading, based in your past, and also, those influences. It is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is air sign energy, can be a bit aloof, a bit cold, come across that way anyways, because they like to live in their head, okay? They're very shrewd, usually very intelligent, but they do like to live in their head. They like to analyze things and approach things in a cool manner. So for some of you, this is the father figure that you were raised with, and so you sort of seek emotionally unavailable people as a result of that. Could have been a mother figure as well. Emotionally unavailable parents breed emotionally unavailable children, or children who seek those types. But it's not to say that it's all bad. I feel like you value an intellectual connection and intelligent people who have a spiritual side to them, who like to study and learn about things, who are communicative, or this is who you are, underneath the surface, or this is the background that you come from. Okay. For some, there might have been a judgment or a legal matter that you've been through that is affecting how you see this relationship. And for others of you, it was someone who was stern and analytical and aloof, like I said, potentially like a lawyer or a religious leader or a professor or something like that. So I feel like, yeah, any connection that really affected you has affected you by being more of an emphasis on like shared interests rather than passion, and that you really value an intelligent person and an intellectual connection. Um, but as a result, one or both of you resists expressing deep emotions, preferring to keep things a little bit friendlier, a little bit more surface level, because, at heart you're in fear of expressing your emotions or losing your independence if you open your heart, okay? Could be talking about someone who raised you, or this person, so just apply it how it fits your situation if this resonates. So in the recent past, you found yourself sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, afraid to rock the boat because you thought that if you rocked the boat, you would get rejected or it would cause some sort of problems, and you just really didn't want to face those problems for whatever reason. You just wanted to keep the status quo going while you took the time to sort of balance your heart and your mind and really kind of figure out what it is that you really wanted and what your next steps should be. Okay, so you really sort of went through a period of gathering your strength, gathering your resources, your faith, your courage in order to face some sort of a conflict or a decision here. You really, dug deep, a lot of you did, to sort of try to understand the situation better and with more honesty. Because I feel, again, like you and your person have conflicting perspectives on a lot of things, and you really wanted to resolve those differences and find harmony with them. Okay. But one of the ways that you are unwilling to, or your person's unwilling to find harmony, is through expressing emotions, because we have the emotional page of cups in reverse. So I feel like, ideally you wouldn't have to get sappy or deep into your emotions or express your emotions verbally, at least, with this person or them with you. That's actually coming out as, this might be a pretty specific reading for someone, but it will resonate with someone. This is your goals, or you ideally wouldn't have to express your feelings, not just about this person, but about some sort of difficult family situation that affects you as an adult in your relationships. I feel like something happened to you again with this past and foundational energy, that you were treated harshly, and as a result you feel insecure and afraid to trust and almost unwilling to seek love, in any sort of emotional way, at least, because you want to avoid more suffering. So there's definitely a fear of rejection here on the part of the viewer, the one that this is resonating with, the one that this reading is for, because that's what this card is saying, that as a result you would prefer to withdraw into a fantasy world, in your imagination, and have this wonderful romance in your head, as opposed to have it in the real world. Even if you think that you do, you kind of don't, because of the fears that you have from your past, from what's happened to you. And for others of you, it might represent an actual like young person or child that that you're wanting to have, okay, or that you're wanting to help, that ideally that you would be able to help in some way, who feel this child that feels unaccepted and unloved, or who can't trust anyone. Could be a family member or your own child, but I feel that, a lot of you, the reason why you would want to help that child is because that child represents your own inner wounds and your own inner child. So this card asks you to take a good hard look at this relationship, and I feel like you guys are, that you want a relationship that ideally you can be really honest with yourself about and honest with the other person about. I do think that ideally you would wish to stop repeating patterns of heartbreak and betrayal rooted in childhood. But I feel like you wish that you could do that without actually having to open your heart, for fear of opening your heart to the wrong person, and for preference of fantasizing that a romantic fling or romantic connections are more serious than they actually are, like living in your fantasy about a person that is safer and more enjoyable in many ways for some of you than actually living it. Okay? That is what that card is saying. So there is some, if you take nothing else away from this placement, take away the implication that you would like to have a connection with this person without having to really open up too much about your past, and without having to make yourself very vulnerable by expressing yourself and your feelings. And if this isn't resonating, maybe choose another option, another reading, or another reader, but this is what I'm getting. So, and if certain parts don't resonate, other parts may resonate. Let's see the next placement. So your approach to the connection is the Justice card in reverse. So the Justice card in reverse is that your approach is not exactly fair. Yeah. Or that you feel that, okay, bear with me. Perhaps, you're going through or paying back some karma here, as this is a card of karma, and when it's in reverse it can indicate like bad karma. Okay, maybe you feel guilty about something that you did, whether to this person or just in your past in general, that you feel like, hey, you're going through this now because of karma. Not saying that that is the case, saying that that is what some of you might be thinking. This card is representing your approach to the connection. I think you're just, and if none of that resonates, perhaps it's just that you're experiencing some sort of delays with regard to figuring out a fair and just way to handle this person in this situation in a way that works for both of you. So one of you has more power potentially than the other in this connection, and or you did in the past, and you wonder, if you were unfair to this person, like if you punished them in some way, if they did something and you pulled away, or for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? There are consequences, and you're wondering if maybe your consequences for this person for something they did was too harsh. So I think some of you are thinking about that, and others of you are thinking that your person was too harsh. So take what resonates. And it makes you feel like powerless. Some of you feel powerless. And for those of you who are the ones who were done dirty, or feel that you think that you were, that you're stuck in sort of resentment and anger about being treated unfairly, you still feel that way towards this connection because your equilibrium is out of whack about it. And you might actually just sort of swing from one extreme to the other here, sometimes feeling very optimistic about the connection and wanting it, sometimes not feeling optimistic, sometimes feeling like you love them, sometimes feeling like you hate them, that sort of a thing. So if the relationship does lack balance, and it apparently does, it's because one of you has more power and control in the connection than others, and than the other person. And so there needs to be an answer. Somebody needs to answer for an indiscretion or a wrongful action. So more than likely you're going to want this person to answer for something that they did wrong. And that's how you're approaching this. That's your approach. That you can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about moving forward after they apologize or after they answer for something. So in the environment, we have the Chariot card, the Chariot in reverse. So around you, there is probably not, well, we already saw there's not a lot of equilibrium, and this card is backing that up, saying that, perhaps things are happening too fast around you at present. This time of year is a busy time of year for a lot of people. Maybe you feel a bit out of control here regarding this connection. It might seem like you're being pulled in two different directions. Maybe some of you are entertaining another person, and if so, you feel pulled in different directions. But either way, I feel like the stress is intense here for some of you, and that you fear that you won't be able to control, there's too much happening that you feel like you're a little out of control. So you might be at a crossroads and you need to choose a direction, but you're trying really hard to make the right decision. So choose carefully is what that card is saying. So the more that you tune into your own inner guidance and intuition, the more control that you can have on your external circumstances. Um, and most likely the answer or the solution to any problem that you're facing regarding this connection is to take the middle road between conflicting issues. So don't have an extreme, it doesn't have to be an extreme measure that you go to come up with a solution. It could be somewhere in between here, a compromise. And for a lot of you with regarding to this person, it's a compromise on your differences of opinion and your lifestyle and your values that cause the tension in the connection. Or it could be that a change has thrown you off guard and you don't know how to handle the situation. And again, some of you are involved with someone else, or your person is involved with someone else, and this creates greater conflict for you with regard to what decision to make here. So what does Spirit want you to know? Spirit wants you to know that this painful period that you're going through is ending with the Ten of Swords. So it's acknowledging the betrayal that you feel, the heartbreak and the feelings of being stabbed in the back, and just being exhausted and feeling in pain about the situation. That is ending. Those trials and tribulations are ending, but you still need to clear away the debris from what's happened so that you can move ahead and heal. Okay, because this extreme stress and exhaustion that's been caused here, maybe it's even made some of you physically sick. That's wrapping up. The storm is ending, and the clouds are parting and the sun's going to be coming out again here. So for some of you, you're going to make a clean break from this connection, and that's going to be the only way that you can move on pain-free to end your suffering here for some of you. And for some of you, it's just going to allow you to heal so that you can get on with things in your life and with this person. But there's definitely hardship in this connection, however you look at it, and it can signify feeling betrayed. So if some of you were on the fence, didn't know if you had actually been betrayed, or if you were making too much out of it or something like that, this is a sign from Spirit that you're right to feel that way. You have been betrayed, some of you, and for others it can represent the strain of caring for a loved one through an illness. So that time is ending as well. So even if this relationship ends, you can look forward to starting over and being free from your troubles. Okay. That is what Spirit wants you to know. And the likely outcome of this is, if everything remains the same and you take the advice from this reading, the Three of Wands. Yeah, the Three of Wands, very positive, creative, passionate, waiting for your ships to come in. But it still does denote a bit of waiting. So you've put in a lot of effort in the connection, and now you're just waiting for your ships to come in. And I feel like, and the likely outcome is that you will express yourself. You will grow to a place where you feel competent enough to express your feelings and manifest what you want. So whether it's this person or like an entirely new opportunity, I feel like, you're going to develop yourself, and you're going to be willing to share, your accomplishments with other people. Okay, work accomplishments, but also just like personal accomplishments. So this card is saying that by devoting yourself to your goal, you can succeed here. So some of you can really manifest this. If you want to look up the 555 manifestation technique, you can go ahead and look that up online. And I know that to work sometimes. Yeah, you are guided with this to do what's necessary to bring your dreams to life. Okay, so I feel like you are going to be, a lot of you are, despite this reading, whatever negatives are in the reading, you are still going to go forward, and you're going to manifest what you want. And what you want is an engagement, a marriage, or at the very least a commitment. And many of you will continue to want it with this person. Some of you will not. But you and whatever partner that you do choose will be expressing passionate feelings for each other, and you will celebrate your love. So I think that's beautiful, because we saw that ideally you kind of didn't want to have to express your feelings because you felt vulnerable and all of that I said. So both of you will be expressing your feelings. this love, this great love that you're going to manifest. For those of you who are going to do that, the likely outcome is that you will, and that it will end with a commitment and passionate feelings that you'll express to one another. All right. That's all I've got for you, option 2. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you liked that reading. I do think it wrapped up and ended nicely. Readings are a snapshot of energy, so, you know, um, energy is in flux all the time, but if you follow the advice of the reading, if it resonates with you, then, you know, the likely outcome should be very positive. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like a personal reading, my details on how to get one are in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Welcome, option 3. So will you and your person end up together? That's the question. Spirits, angels, and guides, please give us accurate, truthful, loving guidance about whether option 3 and their love interest will end up together. Will option 3 and their love interest end up together? All right. Option 3. So the card representing you is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like most of you are probably tired of putting in any work on this connection here, because this is a card about work and sincere determination, but when it's in reverse, it's more about working hard and not getting ahead, because, yeah, just not getting ahead. Like a hamster on a treadmill, running as fast as you can, but not really feeling like you're getting anywhere in this connection. So you might just be burnt out with regards to this connection, this person, or at work, but take it as it resonates. I do see, that you are experiencing delays and obstacles and confusion that may be interfering in your success in some way. And so, maybe there are some more skills, relationship skills or work skills, however it applies, that you could sort of refine to advance your efforts towards getting what you want here. But for a lot of you, you are experiencing work or money problems that may be wearing you down and have interfered with the relationship, is what this can be saying. And as a result, a lot of you are bored, and you're feeling like a cooling of affection towards this person. Maybe some waning affection or insincerity. This card can talk about insincerity as well. So if this is talking about your person, you can take the energies vice versa, apply it to your situation as it fits, okay? And the card that is crossing you here is the Magician card. So I feel like things have not been as they seem, with this person. Kind of backs up what I just said about there being some sort of insincere energy here. Perhaps this person has pulled the wool over your eyes in some way. Maybe not necessarily in a very, underhanded way. Maybe they're just extremely charming, and this makes you want to, let them get away with more than you would if they were less charming. If you can see what I'm saying there, because it is showing up in a negative position, as being what's crossing you. In another sense, it could be, what's crossing you is that you don't feel that you can manifest what you're really wanting in this connection, because like you have been a hamster on a hamster wheel, like putting forth a lot of effort here and not getting where you want to go here with this person, and so you're feeling like you just don't have the magic or the charm or the charisma or the skills to really manifest what you're wanting here. Whether that's true or not, this is how some of you are thinking about it. Maybe thinking about it here. Others of you still might be feeling like the universe isn't cooperating with you. Maybe some of you have done manifestation rituals or cast spells and you're not seeing that come to fruition yet. And you're starting to doubt that. But I'm not really saying that they're not going to work. But if you doubt any manifestations that you're trying to do, that increases the likelihood that they won't work. I'm feeling guided to tell you that. Just know that even if you don't feel like it, you do have everything that you need at your fingertips to manifest what you want, even this person, if that's what you truly want. Um, Continue to connect with your higher power and allow yourself, to align with the universe to achieve your goals and desires here. Your work and your efforts are not wasted, even though it may feel that way. Okay. Even if you don't end up with this person, which I can't see whether you will or not, it's still beneficial. You do still have a lot more power than you're giving yourself credit for. So keep working on your skills here in whatever area that you feel that you need it the most. And that I feel like, there is a strong spiritual component to your connection with this person, which is why you have put so much work into this connection. That's really sort of drained your batteries. You put yourself all out because there is a spiritual connection here. Since it came out in the crossing you position, it could be a karmic relationship for some of you, and that's just a label. It doesn't mean that it can't work or that it isn't positive, but you're working through karma here, some spiritual karma with this person, and but you are definitely on this path together for a reason. Okay, maybe you're just not feeling the love right now, and you're not feeling encouraged or inspired by this person, or they're not by you. Okay, and that's causing you to lose some steam here, or them. Take it how it resonates. But the foundation of this reading, your subconscious influences, is the very lovely Temperance card. So another nod to this being a spiritual connection, that's the Archangel Gabriel there on that card. And in your subconscious, you do feel, again, this very harmonious, loving, spiritual connection with this person. This sort of really deep acceptance for who this person is and them for you. If this is resonating with you, you probably know what I mean, that this is the reason why you do what you do. Maybe on some level you're allowing yourself to be a little taken advantage of. Take what resonates as a result of that. Let me change the music here. But I just think that you're experiencing, a lot of inner growth here. You want the connection to grow. You don't want your ego or their ego to be, a major factor in the connection, or to hurt the connection in any way. I feel like you just innately have a deep patience with regarding this person, even though there are some real differences between the two of you. And perhaps, they triggered the differences within yourself, like a conflict within you that that you're learning how to balance. Okay, disparate parts of yourself that are helping you to become more harmonious within yourself on a subconscious level. But you really do want to heal any rifts, and like I said, avoid ego struggles, and seek peace in this relationship. That's what you really want at the bottom of it all. That's what's at the bottom of this. And this card advises you to just let the relationship develop at its own pace and try not to rush things. Perhaps if you've tried to manifest this, it's not coming, as quickly as you'd like it to, because it's meant to it's meant to come in divine timing at its own pace, right? In the recent past, we have the Empress in reverse, and the Empress in reverse is Libra, Taurus energy. Could be in somebody's chart, but doesn't have to be. I just think it's talking about not feeling nurtured in the connection, like I already said. Somebody feeling really burnt out here. Usually it's the feminine, as the Empress is a feminine, but doesn't have to be. Could be for a masculine as well. So this card is really reminding you to nurture yourself, and perhaps like in the past you decided to put your foot down to take better care of yourself, even if that meant taking some of the attention or focus off of this other person. Could be part of what caused a conflict here. That could apply for some, but you were just wore out, and that's why you needed to pull some of that energy back towards yourself, where if you didn't put that energy into yourself, you felt some kind of way about it. Some of you felt bitter about the fact that you're just drained, putting and giving and not getting the same in return. And might not have anything to do specifically with this person. Some of you might have children and also, work full time, so you didn't have a lot or as much to give to this connection or this relationship as you really would have liked to. So I feel like as a result, you really put in the effort to come up with creative solutions to claim your power, instead of letting someone else or your circumstances excuse me, control you or define you. Some of you were shouldering way too much of the responsibilities in the relationship, and you struck a balance between your needs and your partner's needs. And so this could have resulted in you being less interested in sex, or for maybe one or two of you, somebody stepped outside of the relationship for that. Perhaps infidelity, for those of you that resonates with in the past. And if it doesn't, don't take it. So your goals and ideals here are the Star in reverse. I feel like, due to what's ever happened in the past, and just all the responsibilities and burdens that you have had to manage on your own, and everything that I've talked about in the reading so far, you really are reluctant to even hope for your wishes to get fulfilled at this point, okay? Because the Star is about wish fulfillment, and it's about healing. It's about being balanced in your feminine power. We all have feminine and masculine in us, but you're not feeling very optimistic right now. So I feel like you're wanting to stop putting so much emphasis or belief into the spirit world to manifest your desires, but are relying more on yourself now. I think that's sort of a goal for you. Like, you've been disappointed by trying to manifest this in other ways, that you're wanting to take your power back in that sense as well, and to trust in life and in the processes of life, but also in yourself, which is very positive. So I feel like a lot of you are following your own path, more in a private way. Maybe you're not spending as much time on social media, or you're being more careful about what you share with people online and in person, and with your person you're being more careful. Or you would like to do this, right? Because this is your goal. This is sort of your ideal, is to be more private, instead of just like shining all your light onto the world and giving and giving and giving, right? You're wanting to hold some of that back for yourself, which is fair. And as a result, this card is saying that the blessings that you will receive will be spiritual, more on the spiritual side than material, but they will be blessings nonetheless. And you know if you feel uninspired or have low self-esteem, after you attune yourself to your soul's needs, you will feel more energized and have better self-esteem, and feel more in harmony with who you truly are here, you know, whether with or without this person. So, I think that you are being more careful. You want to be more careful, right? Your goal is to be more careful that you're not having unrealistic expectations towards this person, or looking for a perfect relationship, which can never be attained. I think you've learned that that's not realistic. Or for some of you, it can show that you realize that you haven't seen your partner or your relationship very clearly, and you don't want to be that way anymore. And if that's not resonating, then it can mean, this is a message from the cards, that you need to start seeing your partner and your relationship more clearly. That perhaps you have them up on a pedestal, and you just need to take it down a notch and be a little bit more realistic. So take what resonates from that card. That had several messages for several different types of viewers. Your approach here is the Two of Swords in reverse. So your approach is to stop over analyzing the situation and take action. I feel like you've been really in your head about this, not wanting to rock the boat and being stuck between a rock and a hard place, afraid that any move that you might make things worse in this connection. And I feel like, you've been confused and conflicted as a result of that. And I feel like that's also confusing and conflicting your person. Because this does talk about, stress and frustration caused by imbalance. So your approach could be to take, more action. And even if you can't see ahead, like what's going to happen, it's okay. Take a leap of faith, is what this is saying, because you have, all the tools to support yourself spiritually and otherwise. You are becoming more strong in yourself, taking back your power. So you really can afford to take action and a leap of faith here, to end this confusion and this differences of opinion that many of you are having with this person or have had with this person, that's caused stagnation in this connection or clashing of swords here. Differences of opinion. Um, Honesty and openness are important, and I feel like you know that, and that's your approach, to be more honest and open about your needs and your wants here, your expectations, while keeping those expectations, in line with reality. You're still like open to expressing the truth of what you want, which is good. And recognizing too that one of you might have more power in the connection than the other, and addressing that imbalance as well. In your environment, we have the Knight of Wands, which can be a fire sign. Doesn't have to be, but this person, whoever this is representing, if it's representing a person, could have the traits of an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, which is a very passionate person. Usually honest, but this card can be, a bit of a player energy with regards to love, just because they are so passionate, but they are a free spirit, so they like to kind of ride in and ride out of your life, that kind of an energy. Not the most stable energy, to say the least, but they are exciting, they are fun, they are adventurous. And so someone in your environment could be behaving this way towards you, could be the person that you've come here about. It could also represent you getting some good news, either from this person in the form of a communication or an offer, or a getaway, or it could be that you're perhaps going to be going on a trip, or someone in your environment affecting this relationship is going to be going on a trip, or a relocation, to moving to a different area. Some sort of movement, but a happy kind of movement here. But again, if this is representing your person, this person is good natured and like a likable person. They're generous, they're idealistic, they're loyal to their friends, not as loyal to their love interests, but that's subjective. It depends on the connection, whether they're loyal to you or not. But it does say, that, generally speaking, this is an enthusiastic and enjoyable affair or connection, but it doesn't tend to last very long, or it takes a while to get to a more committed place. So with this card, you're guided to just have fun, but realize that this person isn't someone who's big on commitments. They're more of a free spirit. And what you need to know now is the Queen of Cups. That's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio energy. It's a feminine, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a masculine too. It is saying that you are loved here. There is emotion between the two of you in this connection, as this is a card that talks about deep emotions, compassion, and caring. So a lot of caring and compassion between the two of you. And that, you especially are probably experiencing very strong feelings about this, and that's why it's got you so blocked up with this two of swords in reverse. You need to know that you must use your intuition and your creative thinking skills to navigate this connection going forward. Don't discount what you know to be true in your heart. You can trust your own intuition here, and if this is signifying, someone in your life, this other person perhaps, then it signifies somebody who is nurturing and generous, or a parental figure. Could be, most likely a mother figure, but it could also be a father figure, as the cards are gender neutral. But this person, whoever they are, is ruled by their heart, not their head, and they are changeable and sometimes unreliable. Okay, so if it's talking about you have that in common with this person. If this person is your love interest, sort of like an unreliable energy between the two of you, although they are less mature than you are overall. You're definitely both like warm and loving, caring people who have warm and loving emotions and feelings for one another. So if you didn't know that, Spirit is telling you you need to know that. Okay? And yeah, that if you feel that this is a deeper kind of connection, we already saw that it is spiritual in nature. That if it's romantic and sensual and emotional, that you are not the only one experiencing. It's not all in your head. Okay? Um, it is that way, or it does have that potential. And your desire to lavish, your person with love, is appreciated. It just needs to be kept in balance here, so that you're not putting yourself out. Um, and so, in order to not put yourself out, you need to be more discriminating, more careful about how you spend your energy. Energy is like money or any currency. You have to be careful how you spend it so you don't go broke. This is also a fortunate card if you want to have children. Okay. So, in the likely outcome, and I say likely outcome because um, this is if the energy is going forward remain the same, then this is a likely outcome for those this is resonating with. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. So I feel like things aren't going to go ahead in the outcome to be much different than they are at present. Instead, I feel like you need to reevaluate some idea about this connection that might not be valid here. Because this is a card about, ideas and thoughts. So with it being in reverse, there's some wrong thinking regarding this connection somehow. Or that you're just not clear in your own mind. And if you're not clear in your own mind about this connection, then you shouldn't go ahead with it, okay, is what this card is saying. So, being unclear in your own mind about what you want here could cause like any negotiations or communication with this person to break down, or at the very least, cause more delays in the connection here. So be sure to communicate clearly, because if you don't, there's going to be some more misunderstandings in the future with this person. If you don't communicate clearly, what you want, your expectations, and just like what you're thinking, and just get clear in your own head about what you're thinking as well. Um, so likely, there's going to be a period of detachment and coolness on your part or on this person's part due to, arguing or miscommunication. So be really careful with this communication in the future. And sometimes this can show that, that arguments are going to be due to, spiritual differences and different points of view. So just keep that in mind as well. So for some of you, you won't be communicating with this person in the near future. And for some of you, you will, but there's a high likelihood of there being some clashing of swords or arguments for the reasons that I just said. But for overall clarification and guidance, I do think that there's potential for some sort of progress in the connection of a passionate nature with this Page of Wands. I think that the best tact after you communicate with this person your wants and needs in a clear way, and if they're doing the same, then you can have like a more playful approach, more innocent approach to the connection going forward, and perhaps you'll take a step back in this connection, and then from there be able to have some sort of a new beginning, or a start over or a do-over, where you're at the early stages of the situation again, where you can both be more optimistic and have more enthusiasm towards this connection. For some of you, can talk about like a child or a younger relative or student or someone having some impact on the outcome here. Or it could be that your person who's showing up in the night energy is going to become less mature going forward, but only take that if it resonates. I really do kind of feel like It just indicates that after you um, get past this roadblock here that I'm seeing in this outcome with the swords in reverse card, an innocent and playful approach to the relationship will get you further, as long as, as well as openness and honesty and an optimistic attitude towards love. All right, that's all I have for you. Option 3, thank you for tuning in, and I hope that helped in some way. Remember, readings are general, and they are also for entertainment purposes. However, I hope you found value in the reading, and if you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you'd like a personal reading, my contact information is in the description box below. Thanks again.